Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. This is the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. We start here with chapstick. The crazy just because I am as entertaining as hell is hot. I am. Thank you for being here to help me moisturize my lips. The troll because even without face paint, I did do my brows though, but even without face paint, I am friggin' adorable. So troll just me making light of the beauty community, you know, slim this down, chisel this, slim this out, bake under here, cover this up, blah, 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 blah. Troll just accepting, number one, I'm really not a troll, and neither are you. But just me saying, I accept myself, I love myself, I embrace how I look, regardless of what the beauty community tries to convince us that we need to change or do or spend more money on stuff. And so just embracing ourselves, even though we like to play in face paint. So that's the concept behind the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. And I would love for you to be on this troll ride with me, riding and rock and rolling on this troll train. And that came out sounding backwards. I do curse sometimes in my videos, and I hope that doesn't offend anybody. And so I hope you're okay with me. I'm being weird already. So anyway, this is what else we do here on this channel. This video is going to be a long one. I'm going to do a full face. And the star of the show, I'm hoping I don't drop anything, so I'm good for dropping stuff. The star of the show is going to be look number 2 with the Martine Cosmetics 699 palette. And this is what this gorgeous grungy baby looks like. And look at this. This is Vadidi. It's green. It's pink. It's green. It's pink. And also my confusion over, is this purple or is this green? Like, look at that. And even this one, now that I'm looking at it, and I was looking at it the other day or earlier today. Today is January 11th. It looks like a coppery color, but then it looks like a reddish something or other. So even that shade has a shift. This one right here, look at that. I am loving this palette. And so feel free to skip to the eyeshadow portion. I will not be offended. I did turn my thermostat down. It was on 76. It is, listen, I live in Delaware. It is 22 degrees outside. And my downstairs neighbor doesn't keep his heat up high like he did pre-COVID. And I'm just like, dude, because it used to be like 80 something in my apartment this time of year. And now it's not. And so I just turned it down to 72 because I get warm doing videos. And I don't want to be sitting here and being a sweaty mess. I'm just trying to talk when I'm working. So this is going to be the face portion. And I am also going to use, again, the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Palette. This one is in 02 Citrus. We're going to use that for the second time today. I will put timestamps below. So right now it's just going to be the base face except for brows because they're done. And then I'll put a timestamp for when I use that, if you want to see that, like what am I pointing at? When I use this palette, if you want to see how I use that again. And I'll put a timestamp for when we start the eyeshadow portion. And as usual for the eyeshadow portion, I will start applying on one eye and edit out placing that same color on the other eye just for sake of time, because y'all, this one's going to be long. So if you like long videos, thank you for hanging out for the length of the video. And if not, that's cool too. I'm fine with that. So we're going to start with the Urban Decay All Nighter Face Primer, and I am almost done with this and I really like it. I will not purchase the full size, number one, because the container looks different. So I don't know if it's the same formulation. And number two, it's only good for 6 months after you open it. And the full size is 1 fluid ounce. And I don't get through a fluid ounce of primer in 6 months. Most primers are good for a year. And so I'm like, do I want to spend $30-something? This is the primer on here. This is a Scott Barnes number 68 brush. And so if I'm not getting through an ounce in a year for $30-something, I'm not going to get through an ounce in 6 months for $30-something. I really do like it though. I do really believe that it keeps this area here from getting shiny around my nose. Well, I don't want to stick myself in the eye, but this area right here where I usually get shiny, I find that with this primer, or because it's wintertime and my skin is drier, I don't get shiny in that area. And so I do like this primer, but as I said, I don't know if it's been reformulated because the packaging looks different. And also I wouldn't get through it. However, If somebody gifted it to me, I would definitely use it because I am really liking this. And I like how it performs. And my skin likes it too because I do have sensitive skin. So we're going to try to sit stuff where I don't make a mess. So we're going to use, excuse me. I read it every time like I don't know what this is. And I've been using this for years. NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Medium Dark 2 Caramel. Because you know what, I want to say medium deep, but it's medium dark. I don't know the difference. It's deep dark and it's dark deep. Like, I don't know. So we're going to put this here and here. I didn't pull out other brushes. I pulled out brushes for powders, but not for... And I'm going to still need my palette. Excuse me if you heard me snort. And I'm going to still need my palette for foundation. We're going to use a Rare Beauty concealer brush. And we're just going to tap that in right here. And over here, I'm going to swipe it down. I'm going to tap this in here. I do have a full face tutorial up for my beginner series, which is not only just for beginners, just anyone who wants to just see how someone other than themselves do their entire face. I'm going to take this under my nose where it's red. I'm wondering if this is ever going to clear up, and I'm really wondering if it's something in one of my skincare products that's just not agreeing with this area. And I don't know what it is because my face loves all of my skincare. It's just something with this area here. And I have dealt with eczema since I was a kid, but for this to have been going on for this long, yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. And I'm still using the cream that the dermatologist sent me, and he says I need to use it twice a day, like indefinitely. And I'm like, can you give me something to clear this shit up, man? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're using an Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. This is 4W1 Honey Bronze, and we're going to pump out 2 pumps. This thing is not a straight shooter. 2 pumps onto the palette that we put our primer on. We're going to use the same brush. Excuse me. I was just outside, well, in my car. I went to Giant the other day. But on my list was the Kafir. So if you look at my gut check video, you'll know what I'm talking about. They were sold out. And it was cold that day too. I mean, it's winter time here, so it's cold every day. I think that day, it was 41 degrees. And so I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go out to the store. They didn't have the strawberry Kafir. They had blueberry, but blueberries break me on the hives. So I'm like, okay, we're not doing that. And so a friend of mine, she's out and about like almost every day. Like, I really think she just cannot stay home. And so I text her and was like, if you're out and about and you go to ShopRite, can you get like 4 bottles of the Kafir for me and I'll give you the money when I see you? And so today she went and she said, does it matter if she goes to Giant or to ShopRite? I said, only because, I said, not really, but only because when I went to Giant, they were sold out. And once before they were sold out and I went to ShopRite and they had a whole bunch of them. So I said, it doesn't matter to me, but but Giant may be sold out. And sure enough, she was at Giant. She's like, where is it? They were sold out. And she said they were on sale. It was a sale sticker. But when they were sold out before, it wasn't a sale sticker. So I think they just don't stock a lot of it. Because when I went to ShopRite, right after I left Giant, that first time they were sold out, I bought 5 of them and they still had more left. And they had multiples of the different flavors. And so I think Giant just needs to stock more. And so anyway, so she told me when she was leaving the store, and I told her I'll meet her outside because I'm on the 3rd floor. So I didn't want her to have to walk up 3 flights of stairs just to walk back down 3 flights of stairs. This is the Fashion Fair Truly Tawny Set It Loose powder. This is a Scott Barnes number 64 brush. And she's like, it's cold outside. I said, yeah, I know. I'll be in my car with the heat on. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. And so then I ended up sitting in her car and we talked for a little while. In her car, she had her thermostat on 90 in her car. So I'm just like, my eyes were getting all dry. And I'm just like, okay, I'm either going to die or go into some type of sleep state because it's so hot in her car. But we talked for a while. And then I told her, I said, being so warm in your car, I said, this heat will stay with me until I get upstairs, which, as I said, I live on the 3rd floor. And it really did. So between leaving her car after like 30 minutes of talking to her and walking upstairs, when I got into my apartment, I was still actually warm. So it worked. my plan worked, but it was good sitting and talking to her. And she's done it before too, where I had something for her to pick up. And actually, I was dropping it off at her house. And I rolled the window down, so I was just going to give her the bag, right? She opens the door, and then she's moving stuff that's in my passenger seat. And I'm just like, oh, you getting in? She was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that was pretty cool, though. Because we see each other often, at least like once every couple of weeks. And we text each other and or talk on the phone at least like every other day. And so it's not like, you know, we don't see each other or we're not in touch. And so when she was like, oh, I'm getting in, I'm like... So that was interesting. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I kind of did that the other day. I'm like, is your passenger seat empty? She said, no, but I could move stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. I had took this brush out to use to set my entire face, but I ended up using this one. This is a Fenty 170 setting brush that I did not use. And so that's going to go back home. So that's what the clink was. All right, so we're going to dig into, we're going to go into Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Palette 02 Citrus. This is what that looks like. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the cream blush. I didn't pull out brushes. Damn it. Okay, the cream blush. And then we're going to put the powder blush on top of it. That's where we're going to start. I'm going to take out two, hopefully I don't drop anything, two Sephora number 56 Pro Flawless Airbrush. And I'm doing this because there's two cream products in here. This one is also a cream product. Cream powder, and it does have the flap. So we're going into the cream blush. I didn't pull out any regular blush brushes. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one. I'll tell you what it is when I get to it. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because then I'll be getting confused and shit. So the cream blush, the one in the middle at the top, and I'm trying so hard not to get this messy. I'm gonna do a comparison between this one and the tan and bronze, and I may do it right after this video, just for like size purposes. But yes, I'm not gonna say too much about that. So this is the cream blush, which actually when I used it before, the powder blush seemed to not add any color. All it did was just set this down, but this doesn't feel sticky or anything. Like, it just feels really nice. And I didn't have a problem before putting it over powder, and I'm not having a problem now putting it over top of powder. And I did just swipe lightly twice, and so that's what's there. And we're going to put this where you see me put it. If you have one of these palettes, let me know. As far as I know, it's still on sale for like $44, and it's like an $89 palette. And I said in the other video that I think people just weren't buying it because it's been on sale like ever since, like right after it first came out. And so if you want something from Natasha Denona, just wait. And then go to her website, go to her special offers page, and it may be there. And so that's my suggestion. So when people say, oh, her stuff is so expensive, just wait. Just wait. Even though like the metropolis just vanished from the face of the earth, except in Canada, because a few people on Instagram were saying they just got it. This was like maybe a month ago, like in December. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, how can I get it over here? And then I'm like, you know what? Let me just calm my ass the fuck down. So now we're going, I did tell y'all I curse, right? So we're going to take the powder blush. I think I might want a fluffier brush. I'm going to use a fluffier brush. But you know, that doesn't matter because this shade doesn't really show up that much. This is a Scott Barnes Travel Powder Brush, and it says Travel Powder there. I know it's backward on your end, and we're going to go into this. And it looks like it would be pigmented because it looks almost the same shade. Well, just a little lighter than the base. And usually the base is translucent almost, but not for this one. So this is the blush, and I'm going to tap and just put that over top of the base. And look, it didn't... This is without the powder. This is with the powder. Like, it does not add... I didn't even tap off this time, which might be a mistake because then it's going to look very pink. But look at this. Like, it... Without the powder blush, with the powder blush. Like, it doesn't add anything, in my opinion, to it. and it doesn't dry down sticky. The base doesn't dry down sticky. So it's just like, why am I setting it? And so either one you can wear on your own. You can just wear the cream blush by itself, or if you want like a really, 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 really light flush, then use the powder blush. All right, I'm thinking I'm gonna just flip this over. So that's where the cream blush was. I'm gonna flip it over, and we're gonna go into the cream base, which says Glow Cream Base. That's what it says on the side over here. Ah, damn, my finger, holding that like that, this finger cramped up like right here, to the point where I had to drop the brush. Damn, like what the hell? That really hurt. That has never done that before. Oh my God, that was weird. What? Oh my gosh. That really hurt. Like it really just locked up and, oof. All right, let me just keep going. So Glow Cream Base, and I'm going to do 2 swipes, 1, 2, and we're just going to tap it because we have powder on our face, and so I'm not going to swipe. So we're just going to put this, and so you see how this is not a shade? It does give a little bit of sheen. You can see a little bit of shine. See, no cream base for the highlighter, and then you have a little shine right here. And so this is usually what a base does. It just gives you like a little sheen. It's just a base. It's not a color. But that cream blush is a color, and the powdered blush is no color. So that's kind of strange to me. And so you see how it does give a glow. And any of these you can wear on their own. And some people, if you want to just do this like this, you can. But I'm a troll and I do things. And so we're going to apply all these other colors. We're going to put this brush in its home because we did not use it. That doesn't go there. That goes over there. Okay. So now we're going to take, I'm going to wipe off the brush that we used for our blush, as if I don't have enough brushes I can use for blush. And we're going to close this up first of all, the little flappy thing. And we're going to take the diamond powder, and that's what it says over here on the side. And that, I forgot where I did that before. Oh, you know what? Okay, we're going to tap that off, and even tapping it. And we're going to put this right here on top of the base right here. So no diamond powder. Diamond powder. And I'm gonna leave that like that. Ooh! All right, I'm gonna wipe that off. And also use the other side of it. And I have a microfiber cloth down here, and so I'm actually wiping the brush back and forth. And so that's what the brush looks like wiped off. And we're going to go into the Extreme Glow. I'm sorry, Glow Extreme. That's this one over here. And this is supposed to be like wham, bam, boom, bow, pow, whatever. So we're going to take that. That's what that looks like. And we're going to put that just here. This one, I don't know for it to be Extreme Glow. Or maybe that one's supposed to be here and this one's supposed to be there. Like, I don't know. Because this one to me, no Extreme Glow, Extreme Glow. Like it doesn't seem to add much. And you can do one or the other over the cream base. But I'm not really seeing it. I see a tiny bit, but I gotta kind of really just be like, we're going to wipe this off again. No, we're not. We're going to use a completely different brush. We're going to take the Scott Barnes number 64 brush, and we're going to go into this yellow, this lime. Hey, how you doing, girl? What you doing over there? That's so silly. So we're going to take this one, and it says on the side, Dual Glow. This is a dual chrome, so I'm going to lift up the flap. It is a powder product. And we're going to swipe twice. That's what that looks like. Tap off. That's what it looks like. And we're going to put this right here. Now that one I can see because of the tone of it. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to keep playing with this. I think between these two, just one or the other over top of this base, because the one doesn't do anything, and maybe I put it in the wrong place. I don't know. And I think this is where I applied the colors before, and I made a mental note to do it opposite. Yes, I do think the Glow Extreme, I don't know, or maybe the diamond powder just goes on top of the Glow Extreme, but the Glow Extreme by itself like doesn't do anything. So you do the base, then you put on the Glow Extreme, and then the diamond powder. And what confuses me is I keep thinking the Glow Extreme is going to be like pow, where it's not. The diamond powder is like pow. And so that's what throws me off, is how they label it, or how she labeled it. So even though one says diamond powder, it's more sparkly than the extreme, I'm sorry, the Glow Extreme, when I keep thinking the Glow Extreme is going to be super shiny. I hope that made sense. I confused my damn self. We're going to take a Scott Barnes number 66 fan brush, only because I never reach for this. And let me make sure I'm not sweating. Okay, no, I'm not. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lightly just blend all of that in. And I just realized I didn't do a bronzer. Yeah, that palette doesn't have a bronzer. And I'm looking like I want to have a bronzer. So what I'm going to take, this KVD Lock-It Powder Foundation Tan Deep 190. That's too dark for me. This same brush, we're going to wipe it off. And we're going to tap. And we're going to put that right there. And I did decide to just use this as a bronzer until I get tired of it. And then just put it in the trash. Came in BoxyCharm or something, so I didn't pay for it, which I'm glad I didn't. Sometimes I think to order a different shade, and then I'm like, well, what if it's not the right shade? And then I done spent my money. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna take some under here. Yeah, because I am looking a little ghastly. Not quite uncooked chicken, as Teresa's dead says, but thinking I need something. I have been getting zero sun, y'all, and I'm just turning pasty. All right, so that's what we're working with. This brush again, just to blend everything together. I got so confused with that Glow Extreme and the other diamond. Confused my damn self. Time for the eyes. Let me, oh gosh, I don't even know what to do with these brushes. I didn't even pull out eyeshadow brushes. I don't know if I'm gonna pull them out as I go or what. For now, Fenty eyeshadow primer. And we're going to blend that out as usual with the Sephora Pro Stippling Concealer Brush. And this is number 52. I'm sorry for holding that out of frame. I changed the angle on my phone. So that's why I'm out of frame a lot, or holding stuff too high up, because it's where I normally hold it. But because I tilted that primer up here, because I changed the angle on my phone, I'm realizing I'm out of frame holding up the brushes. Do I want to spray my face? Nope. So we're going to blend this out. I'm going to cut this out of the video. I did turn my phone off and took out brushes to use for this look. I didn't want to take up your time unnecessarily, and also to make sure I knew where shadows was going. So this is look number 2 that Nikki Raven did. Nikki Raven 76. I will link her YouTube channel below and also her Instagram down below. And of course, my look is not going to look like hers because she is awesome and I'm a troll. So there, I've said it. So the shades we're using today, we're going to use Freya. It's green, it's pink, it's green, it's pink. That's for you, DD, again. And Helena is going to go this shade here, which doesn't look shifty, so that's cool. Well, the shifts are cool too. And this is going to go on this second part of the lid. And Sabrina, and I will swatch these later on in the video. Where is Sabrina? Is she hiding from me? Where that bitch at? What the hell? Where's she at? She hiding up here in the corner. And Sabrina's going to go on the outer corner and in the crease. I am tripping. And Rebecca, this one here is going to go as our transition shade. And Zelda, this shade here. And I was wondering if that was shifty, but I don't think so. This one here is going to go on the lower lash line and the outer corner. And Freya, again, inner lower lash line. And then Rebecca, again, on the lower lash line. And I'll show them to you as I am using them. And I probably could throw this piece of paper, this piece of plastic away, which covers the shadows, because I still have this piece of harder plastic that covers the mirror, and I never took the plastic off of the mirror. So I just have, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I am just in love with this palette. So we're going to start with a Isom T37, and we're taking Freya, this shade here, the pink, green, peach green, and that's going to go on, actually it says first half of the lid, so I could have used a bigger brush. I am going to experiment with this shade over black base because I noticed that when I swatched it, it came out a little more greenish. And when I looked, I noticed that my finger was stained from a darker color. And when I swatched it with a clean finger, it came out more peachy pink. And so I'm going to experiment with this shade over a black base, the same as I did with the Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane palette with those dual chromes and multi-chromes. And so that'll be a different video, because I do think this would look real pretty all over the lid. When I'm looking down here, I don't see the shade here, but when I look up here, I do. And so I don't know if it's just the angle or the lighting. And I think it may be the lighting, because the lighting determines which tones. I just brushed my eyeball with the brush. I am a mess. So the lighting determines which of the shades or which of the colors shine through. So that's what we have so far. Sorry for smacking. I got shadow all in my eye. I'm gonna put a little bit more just because I'm not really seeing it down here. Like, I'm not even seeing the peachy pink, and maybe because it's blending in with my skin tone. I'm going to edit out doing this eye. I'm going to take an Hourglass number 3 brush, and we're going to go into Helena, this shade here, and that's going to go on the remainder of our lid. This is challenging because I can't really see where Freya is on my lid to know where to start or stop with Helena. This is challenging. I do want to do it over black base, but I wanted to just use it as it is today, just to see what happens, to see how it performs just over a primer. And I'm not even blending in between because I can't really see where the color is. I do want to take this a little higher up. This is still Helena. I do take my lid colors up into my transition area, because otherwise you won't see much of it when I look at you because of all the puffiness that I have going on my lids. I'm going to edit out putting Helena on this eye. This is what we're working with. We're going to take a Scott Barnes number 63 brush, and we're going to take Sabrina, this shade up here, which is a matte shade. And that's going to go on our outer corner and up into the crease. Ooh. I'm looking because it looks green to me in the pan, but then when I put it on, it looked gray down here in the mirror, but when I looked up here, it does look green. My color perception, y'all, I keep telling y'all, stuff looks one way, and then it looks like something else. A troll got issues, y'all. I was going to say I'm going to edit out doing this side, but because I did that side so quick, I'm like, let me just roll with it. And if you're still here, thank you for rolling with me. And so we're just going to do that. I don't know how far over it's supposed to go, because there is another transition shade. Because you know what? This is supposed to go in a crease, and because I put my lid colors in the crease colors are in my transition area. So that's what happens with that. So this is supposed to be in the crease, and it depends on your eye shape. And because I'm so puffy, my eyes are so puffy, yeah, I take my lid colors into the crease. And so the crease colors ends up in my transition area. I think I'm liking the lid, but it's still challenging for me to see where Freya begins and ends. But I am liking how it looks like it's shifting down here. Because turning it, like this looks peachy pink, this right here looks green, and as I turn this way, this looks peachy pink, and this right here looks green. But when I look up here, I just see green up here, and I see a little peach like down towards my lash line. This is very interesting. So we're going to take a Scott Barnes number 61 brush, and we're going to go into Rebecca, this matte green. I'm being careful not to stick my fingers in it like I often do when I'm showing colors. And so we're coating the tip of the brush, and we're going to put that on the top edge of Sabrina, and we're going to bring it in because we stopped Sabrina here. We stopped Sabrina here. And so we're going to take this all the way in. That's nice. I like this brush for crease work, even though it's my transition area, because going straight in, you can put the line exactly where you want it. And so that's why I've been gravitating towards this one. And then you can just lightly go back and forth and just blend it or buff it out if you want to, or take another brush and blend it out. I am liking this. I'm dipping back into Rebecca, tapping off. I forgot again I was supposed to be editing out this eye. I am just having so much fun with this palette. Oh my gosh, I enjoyed reading your comments under the first look I did. I was just like so beside myself in that video and seeing the different shifts, because that was my first time using the palette. I had not even swatched it. And even for this look, I have not swatched these colors, but I will swatch them for you as we get towards the end of the video. We know how Freya performs because we used that before, so we know what that looks like. And what else did we use before? We used Rebecca before. Yeah, so we used those two before. I am like, oh. I am really liking this. I'm trying not to cry because I am emotional. Today is January 11th. My uncle's funeral was the 7th of January, and a friend of mine died like a couple days before that. Her service is coming up in a couple days, and so my emotions are all over the place. And so even though these would be happy tears, I'm just tired of crying. But I'm really liking this. I'm gonna take some water to try to calm myself down. Oh. All right, because I don't want to be all dry and smacking. Ugh. So because we're going to put a green on our lower lash line, which is actually Zelda. Where's Zelda? Yeah. So we're going to take a green. This is, I'm deviating. This is a Sephora retractable eyeliner, and the shade is number 14 Matte Moss. Because y'all know me and the NYX, I'm going to do my inner lash line. I mean my rims, which I'll probably end up doing anyway. So we're going to put this under here as a base. Is it just one color going on there? quite a few colors going on under there. I'm wondering if I should do this for my inner rims too, just to see if it irritates my eyes. Yeah, let's go for it. Oh, and I just hit a brush and knocked over the brush I used, excuse me, for my cream base face stuff. I knew I was going to drop something. Well, I should have known, because I usually do. Because the tips of my brushes are hanging over the edge of my table. Y'all, if y'all have seen my makeup collection video, you see how small my station is. And I like it small because it reminds me not to keep buying more and more stuff. And then when I get stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm not extending my area. I'm not buying any more storage. Even I did buy the storage for my makeup brushes. But I refuse. I refuse to buy more storage. I refuse to get a bigger table. Because I already know I'm not even going to use everything I have right now. And so, why buy more? Why get a bigger space? You know, I'm not a collector. I'm not a hoarder. I have what I call a workable, curated collection. But I still know I'm not going to get through all of it. I just know that I'm not. Okay, so back to the palette. We're going to take Zelda, which is... Where you at, ho? I am in a mood, y'all. Zelda is this one right here. So this is going to go on our lower lash line. And it says our outer corner. So that's a little confusing. And we're going to use our Fenty number 220 precision brush. And I'm making it a point to use different brushes, because I have noticed I gravitate to the same brushes and I want to show love. So this is, who is this? Zelda. And this is a metallic. So I'm being careful that I don't end up flaking it in my eye, like I often do with metallics on my lower lash line. If it's just a matte, it doesn't matter, because it's just like a puff of shadow, and that easily just rinses out without my eyes tearing. But if it's something metallic-y or sparkly, my eyes are like, bitch, no. Like, what the hell did you do that for? You're going to pay for it, and it tears for a while. And this also says outer corner, so maybe to deepen it. All right, let me get another brush. What brush? I don't really know what's going to happen. This is a Esam, what? V27. And this is a sparkly shade, so I'm kind of confused like why this is on the outer corner. And I am having to go back and forth quite a few times to coat both sides of the brush. This seems creamy. I have not touched these with my fingers. This seems like a creamy color. And so I don't really know, like, where is it supposed to go in the outer corner? So I'm just going to put it just right here, because I don't know. And I've only watched Nikki's video that one time. And so I don't know. And I already do know that my look is not going to look like hers. My recreations never look like the inspiration. Like, not ever. I recreated a look that Morgan Turner did. And mine was like so dark, deep, and smoky and vampy. And hers was light and airy and fluffy and springtimey. And I sent the picture to a friend of mine. She's like, that's a nice dark look. I said, it looks nothing like the inspiration. And I sent her Morgan's video. She was like, oh, did you do the same shadow placement? I'm like, yep. And I think it's because I was packing on color. It was one of the Scott Barnes, I think it was his Color Bomb palette. She was using a fluffy brush and blending as she go. Whereas for me, you see how I do. I pack on and then I go back and blend later. And so I really think that that's what it was, is because I was packing on color versus like placing it and blending at the same time. But mine was nothing at all like hers was. I liked the look though, I really did, but it was just funny, like this looks nothing like that at all. So next we're going to take Freya on the inner portion of our lower lash line, and we're going to use a smaller pencil brush. This is a Esam V09. I have brushes here I've been neglecting. All right, so Freya, we're going to do right here. I call this wrapping, doing the upper inner lash line and wrapping it around the tear duct area to the lower inner lash line. I don't know what it's called, but that's how I do it, and that's what I call it, because I don't just like a blob of light like right here. Even though this technically is just your tear duct area, I don't like how that looks on me. And so that's why I take it up a little bit, do the tear duct area, and wrap it down a little bit. I don't know if that did anything. Next, we're going to take Rebecca, also on the lower lash line, and that's this matte green one here. And for that, we're going to use, this is a Sephora brush. They don't make the silver handle ones anymore. This brush has got to be probably between 12 and 15 years old. And this says Smoky Eye, and it's a number 24. So we're using this one because similar to the Esom V31, which you can place and buff at the same time. Oh, let me not drop the palette. The shapes are similar, except the Sephora one is a little slimmer and a little more tapered. And the ends are fraying. I don't know if you can see how it's not. All right, so how this one is all together, this one is fraying. But like I said, this brush is 12 to 15 years old. Like, seriously, all jokes aside. And so it may be time for me just to get rid of it, but it still serves a purpose. And because I'm placing and blending and blowing out, it doesn't matter that it's splayed out that way. Because for me, that just helps further blend out the shadow. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see how this is just there, and this, placing this color here with this brush, it blows it out. So that's why I haven't gotten rid of this brush yet. Maybe on its 30th year anniversary, I'll get rid of it. I don't know. Freya did not show up on my inner lower lash line. I have a small, this came free in something, a small MAC Fix Plus. And I keep saying I'm going to put shadow on a brush and spray it. And I'm hesitant to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. All of MAC's liquid products breaks out my face. And I know that this is a spray and not a liquid product, but all of their liquid foundations, their face primers break me out. Well, they did like 10 years ago, and I stopped even trying because I'm like, this is just not worth it for my face to be breaking out. And then I'm trying to return stuff. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spray it. We're going to experiment, since that's what this entire video is. So I'm going to open this box. The struggle. So a little tiny Fix Plus, and I'm going to take another brush. What brush do I want to take? We're going to take, ow, got a cramp in my leg, Scott Barnes number 60 brush, and that's what this looks like. And we are, I've been having a lot of leg cramps, y'all, and I think it's from sitting here all the time. I've been sitting here doing videos, and so I'm coating both sides of the brush with Freya, which probably can't see it. And we're going to prime that. Okay, then we're going to spray the brush. I don't think I've ever sprayed a brush ever in my life. And we're going to put that down here. Oh, this has a scent to it. Oh, Lord. Because I just want a shadow to work. I don't want to have to use like special stuff. Wet the brush. Use your finger, use an intensifier, use Mayron, use mixing mediums. I just want stuff to work. And for the price that we pay for palettes and for shadows, let me know if you disagree. But for the price we pay, I feel like it should just work. And so straight, you can see the green a little bit, but then because of the shift, yeah, I can see like a little pink here, a little pink here. But and it does intensify colors when I see people using the intensifies and, you know, additional primers and glitter glues and things. But I just refuse until just now. So take that for what it's worth. I'm going to take a blending brush. This is a Fenty 210, and it says blending for no other reason than just to buff this out, which I don't think that it needs it. So we're going in small circular motions going in and small circular motions going out, and my right calf is all sorts of cramped up. Small circular motions going outward, small circular motions going inward, small circular motions going outward, small circular motions going inward. Y'all, I've been having issues with my legs lately, and I know it's the way I have my legs when I'm sitting in this chair. Being a beautiful troll has its challenges. I am liking this. Like, look how this is just blending out. And thank you for commenting in the other video. If you really want to know like what brushes I use or not. So I will continue to say what brushes that I'm using. I almost dropped something else. We're going to use today still a smudge pot in black because it's almost time for me to throw it away, and so I'm hesitating. It goes bad. Well, not goes bad because you can still use it, but it's technically expires the end of this month. So we're going to line our upper lash line. I didn't even show it to you. Still a smudge pot, black. Look how much is in there. It looks like I barely used it, and I promise you I have been. But gel products just take forever to use unless you're using it like every day. And I've been trying to think of when I first started with Stila back in 2007, and I was using their smudge pots. Like, that was the only liner I was using because number one, I couldn't find a liquid liner that I could work with easily because I was new to makeup. And so this was my go-to liner. And I've been trying to remember, like, did I ever even finish one even back then? Because I think it says it's good for, what does it say on the back? 6 months, does it say? 12 months? 12 months? I've had this for a year? 12 months. And that's all that it looks like I've used in a year? That is crazy. That is nuts. And so I don't think I've ever even used an entire one even back then. A year is pretty good. And people use gel stuff longer than that. You can mix it with Mix a Medium, Revive It. Inglot has a mixing medium that's supposed to be really good. And I have used it for a few things, but it was just messy to me. And like I said, I just want stuff to work. And once it doesn't, I'm just like, okay, you're trash. I'm done with you. And in that way, I'm lazy. Like, this isn't lazy. Like, all of this I did isn't lazy. But when it comes to a product, I just want to put it on. I want it to work. I don't want to have to do extra stuff. And having to mix stuff and add stuff. And that's, I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I just want to put it on. And it do what it's supposed to do. And that's just me. And so I do respect those of you who go through those extra steps. And that's probably why I'll always be a troll, because I don't want to put in that extra time and the extra energy. Like, even though this took time, I'm not a fan of pulling your eyes. This is starting to get dry, this smudge pot. Yo, I'm liking this look. Oh, I'm liking this look. Why all of a sudden my eyes tearing? Yo, this is not, oh, I can't even speak. This look is nice, if I do say so myself. I am excited. I have 2 more looks from her to try. We're not going to do Sills Booster because I don't want to open it yet. And I'm going to use, actually, Ivy League, which is a mini. And when does this expire? Oh boy. I can't see what it says. Ivy League is green. And we're going to use this because we got some green going on. And we're going to put this. I apologize for not cutting out the other eye. And I know I said I was going to do that, and then I did not. So if you're here, thank you. If you're here, leave me a green heart emoji for the greens. Or a purple green and peachy pink or whatever shade for the entire eye look. And let me know if you have this palette. If you're thinking about getting this palette. Let me know if you have the Natasha Denona, what is it called? Diamond and Blush palette. And if so, if you have Citrus or Daria. And if you've done looks with that palette or the Martine Cosmetics 669 palette, feel free to link them below in the comments, and I will definitely watch them and check them out, because the troll needs some help. She needs some inspiration. She needs some inspiration. I really, really, really like this look. I really, 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 really like the first one too. Yo, this palette is a hit, y'all. I'm gonna do a video showing my entire makeup collection, probably not all at one time, and to explain to you why I have what I have. Because as I said, I do consider it lips. How did I almost forget lips? I have what I call a workable, curated collection. And I try to purchase things that will add to my collection. I see some collections and they might have 10 palettes and they all kind of have the same color story. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. And I understand because formulas are different, brands are different. So I do understand, excuse me, why people do that. But for me, I'm not trying to have extra space and storage just to have the same colors over and over. And so for me, this one, I didn't have anything like this. I did not have anything at all in my collection like this. And even though it seems like a big sister to, I think it's the Berlin Underground palette, the tones are so different in Berlin Underground. Let me pull it out real quick. I promise you I'm not just trying to take up extra time. You know, I have it over here. Am I still in frame? Can you see me? So this is Berlin Underground. So that's what that looks like. You know, let me hold it up against 669 and try not to be as awkward as I am. Oh, I stuck my finger in the green. I am so freaking awkward. And I know I am. All right, so the top is Martine Cosmetics 669. The bottom is Berlin Underground. So you can see that Berlin Underground is grungy. You have like the deep golds, the greens, some teals. You got the purples, the black over there. But Martine Cosmetics is so much deeper. You see what I'm saying? And I do think these would pair well together, especially the golds in Berlin Underground with some of the deeper tones in the 669 palette. So that's why I consider this one the little sister to this one. But this is the closest that I have to the 669, particularly this bottom row, because of those blues and those greenish tones and those grayish tones. And so for me, a curated collection is everything serves a purpose, not having a bunch of duplicates of stuff or shades. I can make it look like another shade or whatever. What are we doing for lips? I want to do a brown. I said that before and then I didn't, right? That's not brown. That's burgundy. That's purple. All right, this one. Oh, I thought this said expired 1/2022. It says 10/2022. I was being like, no, not my stunner. Not my stunner. So we're going to put this on. What does it look like? I am so fucking retarded. I'm going to say, why does my face look like it's shiny? Because because of the glitter and stuff from that palette. Yo, I'm telling you, the grieving process, man, I'm just all over the place. And I do have glitter like under my nose. I see sparkles under here. But it's just like 1 minute, you know, I'm cool. The next minute, I'm confused. And then the next minute, you know, my finger cramps up. And then the next minute, I'm just like, why is my face shiny? As if I didn't just put on shiny stuff. It's, yeah. It's something. My mind sometimes, in general, is a little scattered. But even more so when I'm grieving. You know what it seems like? Now that I'm thinking about it. Grieving just exacerbates whatever my normal moods are. Because sometimes I am easily confused. And even like earlier, when I was using that diamond and blush palette. Is that what it's called? See what I'm saying? I don't even remember what it's called. Yeah, diamond and blush palette. How I got so confused over which shade was the sparkly one and which one wasn't. And then I tried to explain it and confuse myself even more. And the thing is I had just put it on. So it's like, you don't know what you just did? No, I don't. Why is my face sparkly? Oh yeah, I put on a sparkly highlighter. Like it's just ridiculous. And that's real life though. Like everything it does not always go smoothly. And when you're dealing with something emotional, did I just wipe off foundation or did I just wipe on liquid lip? See? And I'm just hitting myself in the face with this. I am liking this lip with that. I have an arch over here that's not normally there. I like extended my cupid's bow by accident. Yo, I am like a mess. Thank you for being here. Doing videos does help because I enjoy playing in my face. Playing on my face. So what we're going to do, because it is, I'm going to take a little bit of caramel, which is my skin tone. So this is how you fix it if you mess up your liquid lip. Just going to put a dot right there because this concealer is my skin tone. I've never done this before, like fix my lip with concealer. So yeah, I'm really just trying stuff and hoping for the best. We're going to take a fluffy, no, we're not. We're going to take, this is an Esum V09. It's like a flat pencil brush. Ooh, that worked. Except I went down onto my lip. So I see why this works when people carve out around, around their lip or even like their brows with concealer, filling in that little gap that I made by accident. I love the Stunners. I made a purchase from Colored Rain because somebody, Dee, recommended I try some of their stuff, and I went ham and ordered a bunch of stuff. Because if I can find a dupe for the Fenty Stunners, that's great, because the Fenty Stunners are not on sale at like $20-something, and the Colored Rain was on sale from $17 to $3. So I bought it. I'm not even gonna tell you how many I bought because I should be embarrassed, but I'm not. But you'll see that video. This, let me fix my shirt. This is our finished look. This is what we have. See all the shifts? Because I can't, because my eyes are closed. But thank you for being here to help me do this look, and I am digging it. I'm looking at it down here in the mirror, and I am liking it. I'm really digging it. So check out Nikki's channel. Check out her looks, her videos. Again, I will link her channel below, and or the link to the video she did with this palette, and I'll link her Instagram below as well. Her looks are awesome. I'm still seeing some red right here, but I'm just going to leave it because we're done. We are done. I'm cooking a corn tin tonight in my air fryer. And if it comes out good, I'll post the pictures on my Facebook and on my Instagram. But anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate your comments because it does lift me up a little bit. You know, when, you know, because like I said, I'm grieving and I'm just all over the place. And doing videos, it does help me. I like playing in face paint. I like doing videos. I like talking to you, and I like the interaction. And it just, I feel the sense of community, and that's what helps lift me up. And so I appreciate you in all sincerity. I appreciate you for being here, for watching, and for commenting. And I know this was hella long, so I'm going to go, and you will see me in the next video. Y'all know I forgot swatches, right? All right, so we're going to jump into it, and I'll swatch it later on my arm for Instagram. Let me get a microfiber cloth to clean my hands. Ooh, this is a big one. I have little ones, and then I have, like, big ones. I prefer the smaller ones, but this is what I grabbed. So, Freya, where am I swatching at? Oh, damn. All right. Yo, I'm telling you, This is Freya. Wiping finger off. Helena. Where is she? Helena. That's there. Ooh. Next one we have Sabrina. Yo, they be hiding from me for real. Sabrina's right here. Ooh, this one feels really creamy. This one was not creamy. What one was that? Helena is not creamy. Sabrina is creamy. And maybe because Sabrina is a matte. And this is like a metallic. The next shade, Rebecca, which we used in the other video. Now this is creamy too. This feels really nice. But you see how they perform though. And the next one, I am using clean fingers because this one stained. And this one was the one I used for these two. And so we're going to use this finger. And Zelda, where's she at? Zelda is this one. This one is creamy, but not as creamy as the mattes, even though it is like a matte, but it has a sheen to it. So this is Zelda. This is a nice combination, as if I didn't just use them all on my eye, right? And what other one? Yeah, Freya and Rebecca again. So this all we used was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 5? Can I count? 1, 2. Yeah, 5. It looks like 4 because Freya is so light. So that's it. Yes. So these are the shades we used today. I'm going to screenshot this for Instagram. Being lazy. So hopefully when I look back at it, I'm tripping. All right, I'm really tripping. So yeah, if I look back at it and they look wacky, too wacky for Instagram, then I'll redo them. Otherwise, this is what you'll see on Instagram. So thank you for being here, and you will see me for real in the next video. Thanks.